Here we are again, still looking at the Yamaha TF1 mixing console and how we can better utilize that for our plays, musicals, and other events in our auditoriums and gyms here in the middle schools in Shawnee Mission. Today we're going to talk about scenes, storing, adapting, editing, and recalling scenes. That's a tremendous and powerful way to run your musical, to go from scene to scene to scene, kind of like doing a PowerPoint presentation. On each slide of the presentation, you have different concepts or ideas. In a scene in a show, on a musical, in a mixing console, you have different microphones that are on or muted, depending on who's on stage and what's going on, and you can also adjust the volumes of those actors. Let's take a look. So this middle school had just done Oklahoma, the musical Oklahoma. These are all of their scenes, and I can scroll through and you can see what's on the page there. They've gone through their show and they've saved each of these scenes. Now, I don't know if that was page by page or if it's scene by scene or actually within the scene as different actors come on and off the stage. This is something that takes a little time up front to program this, but it's so powerful in the middle of a show. That doesn't mean you don't mix at all. You still have to take care of, maybe an actor is tired today and they're not singing as loud, or maybe they're really excited because they had a great showing at a sporting event or something, so they're speaking louder than normal. So you still have to kind of manage microphones, but this gets you a lot closer. Or maybe somebody's put on an incorrect microphone if they're swapping mics. You still have to be on your toes as a sound engineer, but again, this will just make it easier to get you in the ballpark. So let's take a look at how we do this. So to get to that point, I'm going to touch up here in this upper left-hand corner. It says Scene, and it brings up this scene list that we can scroll through. And when we actually touch on one of these and recall one of these, okay, we can use the recall button here. Let me back out so you can see it. When I push the recall button, notice things start to move. I can push the recall button. Now more things move. Channels go on, channels go off. Here comes the peddler. Again, sometimes it's small changes. Microphones go on and off. That's a great thing. And if you remember from our previous session, we talked about user-defined keys and how to use those. If you have those set up here, then you can also move forward and backwards through your show. I have a forward key and a backwards key. There's also a save key that's been programmed. So you go through the show and you make some additional changes, things you want to do differently. You can push the save key and now that's saved. So when running a show, I would have this screen up in front of me. Again, just by touching right here. So I can see what scene is coming up next, and then I can go to the next scene. And I can go to the next scene. Makes the show run a whole lot smoother for the person behind the board. Takes a lot of stress off. Let's talk briefly about how to record, save, edit, and delete a scene. So here's my console. The only thing I have up right now is channel A. I'm going to go up here to the scene menu, scene selector. Tap on the scene. I can use the scroll and turn or touch and turn knob to get to a specific location. I'm now going to hit Store. Menu pops up. I'm going to type in a title, just briefly test, T-E-S-T. I can set a fade time so I can fade between one scene to the next if you wanted to. Here's comments. I can put in comments that help me remember what this scene's about. Click OK. Confirm. Yes, OK. Now scene 75 has test in it. I can go on, I can do other things. Notice a little E popped up here in the corner for edited. So now my mixing desk, now I've done other things. I've moved on to something else. Now I want to save that scene. So same thing, I'm going to hit store over here in the corner. It's in the next scene. So now I'm just going to use that. I'm going to put space here and I'm going to put a 2. So now that's test 2. I hit OK, save as. So now I have that. Oh, but you know what? I just oversaved the first one. No problem. Let's go up here. I'm going to put that all back. Sometimes that happens. So here is scene A. This is how I had it. So now on 74, I'm going to hit store. And I'm just going to back up. Same name. Test. Save it. Yes. Now it's in 74 and 75. So now I'm in 74. I can go down to 75 and hit recall, and all of my faders automatically jumped to scene 75. If I use the touch and turn knob again, I'm going to go up to scene 74. I hit recall, and my faders all jump back. 75, this is test 2, recall, it all comes back again. So now let's say I made some adjustments. I want to edit that scene. I can do one of two things. I can go in to hit edit, or I can just make these changes. See, I've moved some faders. There's what I really want that scene to look like. And now I can hit store again on test 2. Save to scene memory A75, yes. Now test 2 looks like that. If I go back up to the original test, there it goes. Come back down, and there it goes back up. If you wanted to delete a scene, use this little button right here. Use this button to delete a scene, and notice it comes up and says delete. So I have test 2 highlighted. I hit delete. It says, are you sure? And now test 2 is gone. Saving, editing, deleting scenes.